I'm Burgess Meredith at the Big Story Newsstand. Did you ever stop to think of how important these 40 or so pages of newsprint really are? See, wherever you live, in a big city, on a lonely island, in a democracy that encourages a free press, or under a dictatorship that suppresses and slants the news, much of what you know and think and feel is shaped by the words that you read in your newspapers. This can be and is an overwhelming responsibility for the reporter who knows that hundreds of thousands of minds will be influenced by what they read under his byline. Now, how one reporter faced this responsibility is the subject of tonight's big story. The reporter's name is Bus Bergen, and for months you saw his byline here on the front page of the Cleveland Press. When it happened, late one afternoon in the Lakewood section of Cleveland, he was miles away from this quiet scene. But in the months that followed, when the violence that took place unseen behind this door became a matter of legal and public interest, it was Bus Bergen's responsibility to try to free himself from human bias in order to find an all-important truth, a truth that in our big story tonight spelled the difference between life and death. Little Mary Ann Linden was wishing that nice Mrs. Drews would let her dog Susie come out and play. But today was not like yesterday, or would it, as it turned out, be like tomorrow. Today, Mrs. Drews kept herself and her dog and her house locked tight.
Open up, Sarah. I know you're in there, so open it up.
You have no right in here. Stay away from those paintings. I warn you. Get out of here. Get out.
Just as soon as I get my painting. Let go of her. Shut up, you little mutt.
Jimmy, lie. Please. I can't breathe.
Less than an hour ago, violence happened here. At this very moment, all over the world, men are dying at the hands of men, children are being born, men with test tubes and microscopes are plotting better ways to wipe us from the earth, and finding also the means of extending the span of human life. In a glass building overlooking New York's East River, men are daring each other to war, and even more daring to peace. But in Lakewood, Ohio, here, now, the world and its problems focus around the answer to several small questions. How bad? Who did it? And why? To these people, friends and neighbors, what happened here is of surpassing importance. To you, Bus Bergen, it's just a back page item. You've covered 1,000 like this for your paper, the Cleveland Press. An argument, beating, assault, and battery. You can't possibly know that you've just begun covering your big story.
J.B. Drews. That's right, millionaire. Oh, it's about a half hour ago. Yeah, I'll check with the hospital first thing.
Hurry it up, will you?
Well, officially, nobody seems to be talking. One of the neighbors claims he beat her up, and another swears she smelled some kind of gas. Which checks out pretty well from where I'm sitting. Right, I will, Dave. As soon as I find something out. Hey, what is that? It's like rotten eggs. Yeah, cyanide, isn't it? The 3 missing paintings. Are they what Drews was after? No comment, huh?
Have a heart, Bergen. I've got a job to do.
So have I, friend, and I'm trying to do it.
Nothing happened. Lots of guys fight with their wives.
Yeah, when the name happens to be J.B. Drews, it's news. When the battleground stinks like a chemical lab, it's even bigger news. Now, the lieutenant didn't tell you to hang around here because nothing happened. She was in pretty bad shape when they carried her out of here, wasn't she?
So bad she died. I'm Sarah Drew's sister. This is my house now. My sister is dead. My sister is dead.
The gap between back page violence and the front page headline has been narrowed to nothing. One phrase has bridged the gap. The victim is dead. You have the who, what, and where. You need the why. But you have to move fast, Bus Birkin. You're bucking a deadline. And when you find a missing figure, you wouldn't mind a bit if the sum adds up to murder. Today, now, the business of crime detection begins and often ends right here in the crime lab of our police departments. Here is where the theoretical becomes the real. Here is where the objective microscope may decide between homicide and murder. The autopsy is crucial, not for the victim's dead, but for the suspect. Life or death may hinge on what this autopsy reveals.
Did you pick him up yet? No. Yeah, that cop you left behind was a big help. But why so tight, Phil? Like I'm bucking a deadline.
Sometimes you guys give me a royal pain. You've got a job to do. You need an angle, a headline. You're bucking a deadline. I've got a job, too. A woman's dead, that's a fact. And how she died. Was it an accident? Was it murder? I don't know the answers. And I don't want anybody guessing for me in print.
Look, everybody knows you're looking for a husband.
We're looking for him to answer a few questions.
Now, you'd rather not call him a suspect.
Look, when we find him, when we find out what happened in that living room, you're going to know it just as soon as we do, Bergen. I can wait for a few facts. Why can't you?
You're not soft-shoeing because the name in question happens to be J.B. Drews, are you?
I don't think so. I think I'm just trying to be as good a cop as I know how.
Well, I'm sorry, Phil. You gave me the thumb, I figure I deserved it.
Forget it. Hiya, Doc. Bus Bergen, Cleveland Press.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Doc. Whatever's off the record, Bergen will keep it that way until we tell him different.
Well, on the basis of the Prussian blue test, urine and gastric analysis, it's my opinion caused the death with asphyxiation resulting from the fumes of cyanide powder.
That bag of rat poison.
Enough of that powder was spilled in that room to generate enough cyanide gas to fumigate the whole house. Sarah Drews died from respiratory failure caused by inhaling a deadly gas. It's my opinion that no living thing could have survived in that house.
Doc, in your opinion, could she have accidentally inhaled those fumes?
Well, I wouldn't want to guess about that. Somebody carried a bag of rat poison into that living room. Somehow split open. Now, whether it was broken open or whether it broke accidentally, the fact is she died from inhaling cyanide fumes. Yes? Okay. For you, Phil.
Thanks. Hello.